Okay, we go to number 1. Yeah, which is the common answer, Jen?
Letter B
Ano
po.
yung common answer?
Letter B po yung nasagot nila. Letter B po yung nasagot nila, ma'am.
Hmm.
Urban communities and their environs.
Okay, so the first question is according to the legal definition. Ganon yan, ano?
Yes po.
That's the first one. So, urban planning primarily concerns rural development. So, what did I answer again?
Letter B, ma'am. Boy.
Okay. So, that's the correct answer. So, urban, bakit kaya hindi ko nakikita yung urban communities and their environs? Well, urban planning primarily focuses on the development, management, and improvement of urban communities and their surrounding areas to ensure sustainable growth and livability. So it involves addressing issues related to the land use, infrastructure, housing, transportation, and environmental quality within urban settings. So we need to understand, as a technique, we need to understand the scope and purpose of urban planning as defined by legal definitions is essential. So test takers should pay attention to keywords and concepts to select the most appropriate answer. As to the incorrect answer, we have letter A. Rural development, rural development. It says rural development. Urban planning is distinct from rural development. So it's something like it's the opposite. So which focuses on improving conditions in rural areas, so you can eliminate that. And then agricultural practices, while urban planning may consider agricultural land use within urban areas, it's not a primary concern. And then letter D, industrial regulations. While urban planning may involve regulations related to industrial activities, its primary focus is broader and encompasses various aspects of urban development. So, we go... Lahat ba
Hinang
nakakuha,
konti.
Jen?
Yes po, ma'am. Letter B.
Okay. Pero ba't nakakita yung mga choices? So, we now go to number 2, the Unified Land Use and Land Occupancy Plan primarily aims to. So, what did they answer?
Letter C po.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. Facilitates the comprehensive arrangement of land uses, obviously. The Unified Land Use and Land Occupancy Plan aims to coordinate and regulate the arrangement of various land uses within a defined area to promote efficient land use, minimize conflicts, and support sustainable development. It provides a framework for guiding development activities, preserving natural resources, and enhancing the quality of life of residents. So we need to recognize the purpose and significance of land use planning in shaping the physical and social environment of communities. For the incorrect answers, for example, letter A, promote environmental degradation. This is not the objective kasi the statement is negative. So this is not the objective of land use planning. Rather, it aims to promote environmental sustainability. So it's the opposite. Regulate traffic flow. While land use plans may consider transportation issues, their primary focus is on land use arrangements. Letter D, encourage land speculation. Land use plans aim to provide clarity and predictability in land use decisions rather than encouraging speculative activities. So, we go to the next one. Sana ba ulit yung number 3? Which decree? Okay, Sergeant, can you read that?
Which decree created the Human Settlements Commission in the Philippines? Ang sagot po nila, ma'am, letter B and D.
Okay, sana ako. Wait lang, ma'am.
Number 3.
Oo, which decree, right? So,
Yes po.
ang answer nila ay letter B.
And
okay.
D.
Okay. The answer is PD 933, letter B. Presidential Decree 933 issued in 1976 created the Human Settlements Commission in the Philippines to address issues related to human settlements, urban development, and land use regulation. So the commission played a significant role in promoting sustainable urbanization and equitable development. Knowledge of key legislative measures and their impact on urban development in the Philippines is crucial for selecting the correct answer. So please take note, PD 933. So then it's HSC. So Human Settlements Commission. Please note that it's very important for you to retain some information as early as today. So incorrect answer ay letter A, PD 1308, because this decree defines urban planning but did not create the Human Settlements Commission. RA 7160, this act, also known as the Local Government Code, addresses local governance but did not create the Human Settlements Commission. Presidential Decree 957, this decree relates to the subdivision and condominium buyers protective decree but did not create the Human Settlements Commission. So, can you read the next one?
Number 4. The objective of urban planning is to, yung sagot po nila is letter C.
Okay, the objectives, I go to the objectives of urban planning. Okay, just a moment. Okay, correct answer is letter C. So, ensure sustainable development and livability. Urban planning aims to promote sustainable development by guiding the orderly growth of cities and regions while enhancing the quality of life for residents. It encompasses considerations of environmental, social, and economic sustainability as well as the promotion of livable communities. I think this was asked already either yesterday or Monday, but yeah, I'm not sure. So understanding the overarching goals of urban planning is essential for selecting the correct answer. Test takers should focus on concepts related to sustainable development. So everything, all surrounding terminologies to sustainable development should be known to all of us. We should really be very, all the aspects of sustainable development, we should really be familiar. So for the incorrect answers, encourage disorderly growth. So these are easy questions because I made sure na parang just for us to distinguish muna na negative. So all those negative, it's so easy to eliminate already because urban planning seeks to mitigate disorderly growth and promote orderly development. So it is not encouraging disorderly growth. Again, promote environmental degradation. Urban planning aims to minimize environmental degradation and promote sustainability. Minimize is again, it's negative. Minimize community engagement. It just for purposes of discussion and not really, these are easy questions. Pasanay lang tayo mag-spot na kapag ang tinatanong ay positive concept, then just eliminate everything that are negative. So you don't need to really be very, parang hindi ka, kahit, even if you don't memorize all these things, so through techniques, you can spot what you need to eliminate. So minimize community engagement. Although it says community engagement, but the term is
Yung baga man ang
minimize.
sa uni si Jay
So, community engagement is a fundamental aspect of urban planning. So, promoting inclusivity and democratic decision making. So, we need to do a lot of community engagement. So, we go to the next. Jen?
Number 5, in the context of urban planning, the term zoning ordinances refers to, ang sagot po nila ma'am, letter D, dog.
Yeah. Okay. It's correct. Regulations that govern land use and development. Zoning ordinances are regulations enacted by local governments to control the use of land and the types of structures that can be built in different areas. So they help maintain orderly development, prevent land use conflicts, and protect public health and safety. So we just need to understand the purpose and function of zoning ordinances, which is crucial for identifying the correct answer. So we should be familiar with key terms and concepts related to land use regulation. Letter A, regulations that limit building heights. Building height regulations may be part of zoning ordinances, but they do not encompass the entirety of zoning regulations. Letter B, laws that promote urban sprawl. Zoning ordinances aim to regulate urban development and may discourage sprawl through land use controls. Letter C, rules that restrict industrial development. Zoning ordinances may include restrictions on industrial development, but they also regulate other land uses. So again, the technique is when it is very limiting as a concept, as a strategy, then you can eliminate. All right. So we want to we want you to develop that elimination skills, because the question is in the context of urban planning, the term zoning ordinances refers to, because zoning ordinances in itself is a term that encompasses all uses, commercial, residential, even ecotourism, etc. And it keeps expanding, the coverage of zoning. And so when you see that the choices are pointing to a specific land use, then eliminate that immediately. So wala yung matira, and then you could, it's not just, taking the exam, it's not just remembering, but also the ability to eliminate. Next one, Jen.
Number 6, the concept of community-based planning emphasizes, yung sagot po nila ma'am, letter B and D.
Okay, letter, community-based ba yun?
Opo, community-based planning.
Okay, so it's so easy, no? Community-based planning. Collaboration with local communities in planning processes. Community-based planning prioritizes the active involvement of local residents. So, even community organizations, so these are the concerns and stakeholders in the decision-making process. It seeks to empower communities to shape their own futures and advocate for their needs and priorities. So, understanding the principles of community-based planning and its emphasis on grassroots participation can help identify the correct answer. So it's just a matter of stock knowledge probably, or the familiarity, because you have that stock knowledge, or at work you've been using that. So we need to really understand the principles of community-based planning. But let's see, the incorrect answers: exclusivity of decision-making by government agencies. See, by government agencies. Community-based planning promotes inclusivity and shared decision-making. rather than exclusive control by government agencies. So these are in itself, while I am discussing the incorrect answer, I am also providing techniques already on how keywords would be able to um, make you or even perfect your examination. Mape-perfect nyo yan kapag ginagalingan, like full preparation is full, and then you are empowered, you develop the ability, a very deep ability of critical thinking and spotting all these keywords would really make you, very confident to pass the examination. Letter C, absence of stakeholder engagement. Absence, so it's a negative term. Well, community-based planning emphasizes stakeholder engagement, right? Keyword, stakeholder, community, etc. So, community-based planning emphasizes stakeholder engagement and collaboration to address diverse perspectives and interests. So it's not the correct answer. Centralized planning approaches, letter D. Centralized planning approaches. Community-based planning decentralizes decision-making and encourages local autonomy and initiative. So that's incorrect, right? So all these concepts contradict or are opposed to what it is trying to answer from us. So next one.
Number
Please read the question.
7. Number 7.
Please read.
Which
Oo, please read the-
organization defines urban planning as the unified development of urban communities and their environs? Ang sagot po
So,
nila, ma'am,
what is it?
letter B. United Nations.
Oh. The correct answer is American Institute of Certified Planners. The American Institute of Certified Planners provides a widely recognized definition of urban planning that emphasizes the coordinated development of urban areas and their surroundings. So if you're not familiar with AICP, which is normally being asked during board exams, you cannot really answer, but of course, let's try to deal with this. Familiarity with key organizations and their contributions to urban planning can assist in identifying the correct answer. For the incorrect answers like letter B, the United Nations. While the United Nations plays a role in promoting sustainable urban development, it does not provide the specific definition mentioned. International Monetary Fund, or the IMF. The IMF focuses on economic policy and financial stability rather than urban planning. The World Bank provides financial and technical assistance for development projects but does not define urban planning. So you can eliminate World Bank, you can eliminate IMF, so you are left with United Nations and AICP and the American Institute of Certified Planners. But it says which organization defines urban planning as the unified development of urban communities and their environs. United Nations is so large. Just imagine the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Ang dami siyang concern. It's not just urban planning that they are concerned of. So even if you don't know, make a wild guess. So it's one of the techniques, spotting that you might say, if you don't know the answer, just imagine. United Nations, diba? We are so familiar with the SDG. It has many goals. 17, and it has many indicators of success. So AICP, probably you can say, probably it should be the AICP that had defined this one in the first place. Most of the board exams, most of the board questions, they have been inspired by the manner of questioning by the AICP. So, Okay, next question.
Number 8. The shift from top-down to bottom-up planning signifies. Sagot po nila ma'am, letter B.
Okay, they got the correct answer. Greater involvement of local communities in decision. I think this was us yesterday.
Na makita.
So the shift from so
Siya
it's
nag-graduate
all
eh.
about the shift.
Di PDF.
Shift means yeah, probably there's an era where mostly top-down strategies, and then yeah, suddenly government shifted to bottom-up. And we know really bottom-up. I think yesterday I was able to emphasize that bottom-up planning means that coming from the grassroots, coming from below, then to the top. So, the transition from top-down to bottom-up planning reflects a shift towards decentralized decision-making processes that prioritize community input, participation, and empowerment. So, bottom-up planning emphasizes local knowledge. Okay, please don't forget this. Bottom-up planning emphasizes local knowledge, needs, and aspirations, leading to more inclusive and responsive outcomes. So we need to understand the principles of participatory planning and governance can help identify the correct answer. For the incorrect answers, it says in letter A, increase government control over planning processes. Government control. So government control is top down, right? So bottom up planning decentralizes decision-making authority, reducing government control. And that's why bottom up is sometimes interchangeable with decentralization. Now, for letter C, decrease stakeholder engagement. Decrease stakeholder. So we are trying, it's a negative thing. Because bottom up is all about grassroots. It's all about participation. So
Damari,
bottom up
ayaw
planning
niya.
encourages greater
Ikaw.
stakeholder engagement and collaboration. Letter D, reduce transparency in planning initiatives. Reduced. So please develop that part when it is asking and when you are quite sure that the terminology being asked is positive, then eliminate all those negative, those opposed ideas, like reduce transparency in planning initiatives. Bottom-up planning promotes transparency and accountability in decision-making processes. So when you reduce transparency, that's negative and not aligned with bottom-up planning. Next one.
Number 9. Urban planning primarily focuses on the development of. Ang sagot po nila ma'am, dalawa, letter C and D.
Okay. The correct answer is letter C, urban areas and their surroundings. Why? The question is, urban planning primarily focuses on the development of. So, urban planning is primarily concerned with the development, management, and improvement of urban areas and their surroundings. It addresses a wide range of issues such as land use, transportation, housing, infrastructure, and environmental sustainability within urban settings. So we need to recognize the scope and focus of urban planning as it relates to urban areas is essential for us selecting the correct answer. When you answer letter A, mali yon because urban planning is distinct from this. Natural landscapes, while urban planning may consider the preservation of natural areas within urban contexts, its primary focus is on urban development. Industrial zones, urban planning encompasses various land uses and infrastructure beyond industrial zones. So we're down to, is it the last one, Jen?
Yes po, number 10.
Okay, please read.
The Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board, HLURB, was established through, ang sagot po nila ma'am, letter B and C.
Okay. The correct answer is PD
Patanglat
957.
ta.
PD 957 created the HLURB. This is memory work, okay? Please, at this time, you don't miss this out, okay? Please memorize now, today, or never.
HLURB.
Because PD 957, HLURB, so madali lang siguro i-memorize. Now, you create something like, how do you, which technique should I give you? 957, something like 957, okay? Paano yun? Sometimes, it depends on how you perceive it. Paano mo siya gagawin na you will never forget even when you are inside the testing room. Siguro, hindi rin pwede 999. Basta 957. 957. The HLURB is responsible for regulating land use, subdivision, condominiums, and other real estate development activities to ensure compliance with laws and standards. We need to understand key legislative acts and their roles in shaping urban development institutions in the Philippines. So it is selecting the correct answer. See, RA 7160, so or LG code of 1991. So you also need to remember that it was legislated in 1991. So this act, also known as Local Government Code, addresses local governance but did not establish the HLURB. PD 1308, this decree defines urban planning but did not establish HLURB. Presidential Decree 1216. This decree pertains to the establishment of the National Environmental Protection Council. So, and does not create the HLURB. So, PD 957, is it hard to remember this one? So, we need to understand the context and significance of legislative acts and urban planning principles. These are all crucial for answering questions accurately. So, all our prospective or emerging planners, we should pay attention to key terms, concepts, and historical developments to select most appropriate answers. Anyway, when we come to the Area 3, plan implementation, laws, and what's this? Administration. We would be able to to learn about how all these laws and how all this legislation had evolved. So, ilan ang nakapasa ba kayo? Alright, nakapasa ba? So, okay.
5 out of 10.
8 out of 10, ma'am.
Hello?
8 out of 10, ma'am.
8 of 10. Oh, pang top notcher na yan. Ang pang top notcher, 9 ha? Or 10. Okay? So, we always aim for perfection. Okay ba tayo? So, I think, pwede mo nang tanggalin yung andyan. Sure. So, how do you feel about your performance? So, are you happy about your performance? Okay. Let's see. So, idudugtungan ko lang, yesterday, okay. So, you're seeing this?
Yes
We
po.
are trying. Oo, third day pa lang natin, ang layo pa, pero parang nagmamarathon na tayo, and I think it's a good indicator.
Pas to.
Diba, Jen? What do you think? It's a good indicator that we are doing so great. Okay. you can see the threefolding image of society. I was trying to to research on some personalities or urban planning figures that have been uh, you know who who developed that, but it's kind of even confusing. Say, um, yeah, some say it's Chapin or Chapin, or some say it's sino na ito? Si Mumford, Lewis Mumford. Uh, but yeah, I've been looking into it para lang baka mamaya yung one mistake pa natin kasi I'm very careful about these personalities. This had been taught also by my mentors from yesteryears. So let's see. There are three folding image of society. So when you say that the three folding, hindi ko lang na-rush yung kanyang Venn diagram, but it should come like how you envision it as a Venn diagram. There are three values: ecological, profit-oriented. So you can see the graphics there. That yeah, ecological values emphasizes the importance of preserving and protecting the natural environment, because it was from this concept that other concepts and models have been developed as well. So yeah, but of course other image or other concern or other model is what we call the profit-oriented values, where it focuses on economic prosperity and market-driven objectives. Oh, just a moment. Andali lang ha, because someone. Just a moment. Patawag si Jen. Okay. So there's another value which we call the public interest or civic social cultural values. It prioritizes community well-being, social cohesion, and cultural vitality. Just a moment, let me just shift to another screen. Okay. Bakit kaya to? Hindi siya gumagalaw. Sorry guys. And let me just fix it. Gumagalaw. Ano yung ito? Kikita nyo?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, po.
Nakikita na yan, ma'am.
Well,
Okay.
po.
So urban and regional planning. There are many definitions. Earlier you saw about the AICP, no? The Certified American Institute of Certified Planners, and there are other definitions that are coming from all over, from history and from Radcliffe, all those who define planning. But there are also general definitions like this one, which is urban and regional planning, which is a profession. It depends on what the board question would like to ask you later. If it's asking about the profession or asking about the process. So urban and regional planning is a profession dedicated to guiding the development and growth of communities, cities, and regions in a sustainable, equitable, and efficient manner. So it encompasses a wide range of activities and processes aimed at shaping the physical, social, economic, and environmental aspects. So, um, there are also principles that that are being followed, like we need to reconcile public with private aims, and then there should be arbitration or between because there are competing forces like social, economic, political. So it depends on the priority, for example, of a city. Like when when deciding on which development project should be prioritized. So that competes with another. And then also one of the planning principles is when we allocate scarce resources. Of course, there's ERA, the internal revenue allotment from local governments, that they need to allocate scarce resources with, especially land and other resources. However, if the local government is strategic enough, like for example, if you are um, you are good at writing grant proposals and um, yeah, like having partnerships, or like you are able to connect with national government. You have a strong connection with national government, and probably you have the ability to really leverage on this external funding sources. Another planning principle is um, seeking maximum practicable efficiency and benefit for individuals and society. Of course, uh, in planning, we do some stakeholder engagement, and then we also have that stakeholder mapping, analysis, etc. That each sector has their own, each sector has their own concern. Like for example, the senior citizen, and then the PWD, and then we also have the women sector, and each one has their own concerns. So you see how difficult it is to to create or to establish some interventions or initiative for each sector. So we also respect the needs of nature and the requirements of sustainable future. And for example, to decide whether to cut the trees or to disturb some, like some resources, or like for example, if you are your location is a watershed in your local government, and so it would be very difficult to to plan for a watershed town or because we need to really what should we prioritize, and which laws and which principle are we going to establish to make sure that all these planning principles are met, and we don't really compromise the future generations. So I think we were discussing earlier about parang natanong ba ito, no? The PD 1308. Natanong ito kanina. So it defines urban planning as activities related to land management and development in 1977. So we, as well as the preservation, conservation, and management of the human environment, it also aims to liberate communities from urban blight and congestion. So we need to be really very familiar about the contents or the of the elements within the legal framework for urban planning. There's also ito yung but this question was asked earlier. For example, PD 933. This created the Human Settlements Commission, later renamed to the Human Settlements Regulatory Commission. So please, please don't be confused about the names because it continued to evolve. diba, from HLURB, and then it became DSUD. So yeah, we need to really know about how these agencies had evolved over time. And so during the lecture later on laws, and we would be able to come across again all these things. So for ito yon, for AICP, this is normally asked. I'm not sure which year. I think during my time, this question was asked because we most of the questions have been, you know, like it was inspired by those questions that have been asked. Because may exam din kasi yung AICP. So you become urban planner, urban and regional planner in the US. So it was defined by AICP that it is the unified development of urban communities and their environs, and of states, regions, and the nation as a whole, as expressed through the determination of the comprehensive arrangement of land uses and land occupancy and their regulation. Please don't forget about that. And then I'd like to concentrate on this, John Ratcliffe, because putting a name into each model, like for example, John Ratcliffe, he theorized that urban planning, or he defined urban planning, which is concerned with providing the right place at the right site at the right time for the right people. Tomorrow, I will ask you again about that. I would like you to linger on this particular, definition. If you can, recite that like normal, kaya ba? Right place at the right site at the right time at the right, for the right people, right? So it's something like, you will not forget John Ratcliffe, because yan yung definition niya. It is identified with John Ratcliffe, and he also defined that on urban planning, that use of space has to match needs of people, of society as a whole, and of nature. So okay, ito ay lagi itong tinatanong yung John Ratcliffe. And then there were some shifts in modern planning, like for example, product-oriented. So it is a concept. It could be a model. It could be a theory. So it's something that models have shifted over time. So probably some questions would be asked on how the product-oriented had been shifted by another idea or another concept. So, and you need to answer it's process-oriented. Now, before we're always engaged with information intensive, and then because if it's information intensive, then it gets to be a long process, tedious process in planning. So it's something like even data and information that are not needed, you just have to collect, and then you just have to organize. But things have not been the same because it became strategic, because strategic means we can do so much for less time. So that's how strategic planning should work. Before, compartmentalized due to administrative boundaries, now integrated, especially after pandemic, that we have been, we have utilized digital strategies, and then later we would be able to define what is a region, and these are a lot about trans-border strategies that integrated planning have been, like one of those not really new normal because even before integrated planning have been theorized by Ratcliffe also and by some theories anyway. Pagdating natin sa history, we would put some names to each of this who really initiated all these concepts. And then even in our in Philippines, right? Like for example, top down from to bottom up, agency led to community based, and that's why there are some strategies already in gathering data. For example, in public, it ngayon uso na rin yung participatory, right? 'Di ba? Sa participatory. But there were also some shifts from open participation, now focused participation. But this was before. Even now, you are seeing this because I got this from my previous mentors as well. But if I'm the one looking at this, meron na ring ibang cycle of shift especially after pandemic and after we have managed to overcome the pandemic, meron na ring cycle. In between this and then beyond this shifts, there were already some, like, for example, what are the digital, we have cross-border, anything that have been, more modern or more innovative. So these are all I consider this. I just need to just bring out to you because these have been asked before in board as a board question. So I don't know about all others, but I think we need to name kasi each country naman has its own uniqueness, and we call that, especially NEDA and other agencies, HLURB now, DSUD, they also coin some, even the ILG, they coin some concepts that that are beyond already these shifts in modern planning that have previously been asked in the board exams. So, now I would like to shift to another Canva. Just a moment. Let me stop share. Just a moment. Because I have another. Wait, just a moment. Okay. Jen, would you like to discuss on muna if let me just find the other slide. Okay, just a moment.
Yung mga nakabayad po ng mga fees po nila ng partial payment, remind ko lang po, mga bukas po, and then, bukas po yung fully paid nung iba, and then, na-extend po ng iba yung mga March 7, mga late enrollees po. And then po yung mga hindi pa po nakapag-enroll, mag-enroll na po kayo. And then, i-message nyo po ako kung hindi pa po kayo nakasali sa GC para mai-add po kayo. Para ma-update po kayo anytime. Thank you po.
Ma'am Jen,
Yes po.
ma'am, for those nakapagbayad ng 6,000, how much na lang po yung remaining balance?
Wait lang sir ha. 27,215 na lang po yung remaining balance sir.
Thank you po. Kailan yung deadline, ma'am?
Yung mga late enrollees po, na-extend po sila ng mga hanggang March 7 po. And then, yung mga early po, bukas po yung magpo-full yung iba.
Thank you po.
Welcome po.
Yeah, by the way, for the weekends, we need to have like 100 items of mock exams.
Anong i-discuss ko? Wala
So,
nga siyang
it
shinare.
means na paano kaya yung ano natin dyan, paano natin i-administer yon because they need to, we need to time them. And then, we make sure na meron silang mag-a-answer sila because this will be corrected so that we can chart their performance and then so that we can track personalized dapat yung ating assistance to them. So I will be asking board questions na that were given as early as 2000 to the 12 siguro and beyond, parang ganon. So yung mga past exams kasi the questions are being recycled so kapag ka lumabas yon and then we can be assured that you have we can meron tayong strong chance to parang di ba mabawasan na lang yung ating other concern, at least nasagot na natin yung mga ganon. So I have like 1,000 questions pero I need to hindi natin isang baksak lang na sasagutan, but every weekend we have some intensive like mock exams, but para masanay lang and then we try to explain ano yung answer kasi may mga noong araw, you know what, madaming computation. It's just very recently na hindi nagkaroon ng madami kasi analytical tools na mga binigay, especially during my time. Yeah, there were some computation. What if naglabas ka? Kasi every year they add 100 questions, 100 ng 100. So, and then they take out other questions. So, most likely, if we are able to, mapaghandaan natin yung mga previous questions and then predicting some questions for 2024, I don't think na magkakaproblema tayo. Basta masasanay lang tayo na every day we answer questions. So, let me see, just a moment. Saan na ba yung nag-shift kasi ako from PowerPoint to I converted all PowerPoints to Canva. So pero it's difficult pala when you try to parang manual yung copy pasting of my PowerPoint to the Canva. So kapag ka we can try to, but I would like to share some pwede kong pakita ulit itong natin. Yung siguro yung sa old muna which has been passed on by my mentors as well noon. But sobrang crowded kasi ng mga kanila. But anyway, okay. Oops. It's so difficult to shift Jen, wala ka nang i-discuss, Jen? So that...
Wala pa po, ma'am. Chine-check ko lang po yung mga hindi naka-attend or yung mga attendance nila.
Okay. Sige na nga, ito na lang old muna kasi hindi ko siya like for example, alright, so this one, are you seeing now or hindi pa, no? I need to share screen.
Wala pa po, ma'am.
Sige, so basic planning, so share. How about this one? Nakikita na, no? But of course, I apologize. I'm using from Ecopolis. I would like to acknowledge the source. This was in 2009. Sila yung mentor natin noon. So, Jen, nakikita na, no?
Yes po. Yes po.
Okay, let's see. Meron tayong levels of planning. Levels of planning. they also try to ask this one, scope or coverage of planning. Like for example, what do you mean by narrow level? So the narrow level planning, it means that these are the things, these are perspectives, these are the conceptual level or just framework. But when it increases, so it broadens to become moderate, then you refer to the framework structure or developmental. Um, this was used by my mentor from UP, and then broad integrated. So, okay, we need to do some association of terms, like when it's a broad scope of planning. Yeah, they could be integrated planning or comprehensive. So I think hindi tayo magkakamali ng isasagot dito, because comprehensive means broad, integrated means large or madami siya, di ba? Like multi-level. And then detailed, so it is an indicator. These are terminologies that are associated with being, the broad scope of planning. And then for the duration, nagbabago din eh. So these are old na, please remember that in the examination, they are recycled questions. And those questions could be asked again, but if you refer it today, it's not working anymore. Things have changed already. So sa review kasi, we are looking at fresh concepts plus old concepts that probably that are not applicable today. So duration of plan, for example, short term 1 to 3, medium term 5 to 6, long term 10 years, di ba? Pero some would say 9 years CLUP and some would say 10 years. So, and for a master plan level, 30 to 50 years. But siguro naman you could, hindi kayo magkamali ng isasagot nyo kasi it's so easy na you can detect already how to answer that it is long term if like this. And by the way, the CLUP, which is 9 or to 10 years, it should be a long-term plan. You regard that as a long-term plan. Parang ganon. So, there are theories here that I would like to share. Pero gusto ko ding pag-usapan ito siguro tomorrow. But let me just tackle this one because I'm really very much concerned about theories. Madaming hindi pumapasa because of planning theories and history. Daniel Barnham, you know very well that he's the father of City Beautiful movement, right? So Ebenezer Howard is for the UK and Daniel Barnham is for the US. So during his time, he was able to traditional planning or command planning or imperative planning. And please don't forget that these groupings, this cluster of terms, they are associated with each other. Don't be confused, but try to, while you are listening to me, try to memorize already. Don't wait for the 5 days before or 10 days before the exam to go back again. No, if possible, we don't go back, but we move forward by learning another concept. Kaya don't waste time. Every day, you need to train yourself. Traditional planning is associated with command planning, imperative planning. So, during the time of Daniel Barnham, so I'd like to just read this one, shared by my trainers before, that the top-down approach is a grand one-shot attempt. So, its end product is long range, and that's why until today, 30 to 50 years, it's because it's affecting the whole generation. So it's like a generational plan because it could be massively, it says here I'm reading, but can be massively disastrous when in error. But there is a way. If I would like to speak it today, this long term is not bad at all. But here it says it could be massively disastrous. But there's a cure for a long-term planning. You need to just develop the ability to update the plan and always inform the plan with new strategies, with some innovation, and then we inform it by new legislation so you don't go wrong about having or coming up with a master plan level of planning. So this type of planning requires, second bullet, requires full control and full powers of sovereign who authorizes the plan, implements only the dominant vision of an authoritative leader or ruling clique or elite. So this is a type of governance or government. So it is in the US, but click it's select it's a group. It's and how do you call that, elite something. So this type of planning is strong on physical planning. It's the physical design, either architecture, engineering, but inadequate in terms of demographic, social. Because demographic, for example, we have census here every 5 years pa yon. So this long term plans should be always be updated, and you cure the different the negative or the negative aspect of producing a long term plan. So we are talking about the time during the time of Daniel Barnum, applicable when settlements are built from zero. This board question was also asked before. So what is that term used when we are planning from scratch? So you call that tabula rasa. Please don't forget that. Okay? But not applicable when cities are largely inhabited by inhabited with much historic cultural heritage to preserve. So you've read about Daniel Barnum, and then, but of course during the history aspect, alright, so we also have the systems theory of planning by Wiener. Ang araw, so it's cybernetics in 1948, Ashby. So these things might be asked again or be recycled as a question. But within the systems theory, it could be easy to spot how to answer kapag meron yan sa choice. Basta it is associated with cybernetics, and then system is a set of group or interconnected components interacting to form a unity or integrated whole. So it's all about the systems, the systems theory. Like you can see the diagram here, that it follows in when a system as an input, and then could be used in tackling environmental issues, etc. So system here would refer to a set of group of interconnected components interacting to form a unity or integrated whole. It's about relationships tie the system together, and it made use of also concepts like cyclical system, means that it is iterative, it's continuous. So these are the characteristics of this theory of planning. So the buzzword or the keyword here is iteration. It's executing the same set of instructions a given number of times or until a specified result is obtained. It's a completion of to and fro process. So, okay, kaya na? It's not moving here. And then there's what we call the systems planning approach by George Chadwick. So what do you see as a characteristic and how would you remember this one? How would you like to remember this when you see this one and it will ask you probably by whom? Whose model, by who established that model? Or which model was established by George Chadwick? So, ganun lang naman yung how questions will be asked, right? You will not ask about mostly on the diagram itself, but it's something like, yeah, how would you like to remember this so that you will remember that George Chadwick was the one who established this model or this planning approach. Then there's okay. Yeah, Patrick Geddes. Please don't forget that he's the father of regional planning. And yeah, he's a biologist. Ang dami niyang ano eh. So he's everyone. He's everything. Like he theorized this one. He had this model. I call this RAC because rational, adaptive, comprehensive. So these are the characteristics, but it's actually the name of the model, the name of the approach. So rational is adaptive, comprehensive. So that's why he's the father of regional planning because it's large. It's the long-term planning as the long-term planning that he tried to model. So rational because it's systematic. He uses logic and reason. So it's really important to be very logical, right? And we know how, and it always, because that's the rational aspect of planning. It utilizes verifiable, replicable scientific methods. It's comprehensive, so it's from the word that it covers as much of territory as possible, as many sectors and aspects. So, he was the one who suggested or established the practice of gathering as many information as possible. So, if you think about this one, it is opposed to being strategic because strategic means that you just gather those relevant aspects, those relevant information. But for him, for Patrick Geddes, you need to gather as much information as possible, and then just not really throwing out, but preserve those which you are not able to use for the regional planning. So synoptic, because planners do a lot of synthesizing of extensive information, integrating, drawing deeper insights from voluminous data. So he was the one who also said plans are not static, carved in stone, but reviewed, revised, overhauled periodically according to time frame as societal condition change. So they are not. So it's something that, diba, dynamic. So it's a terminology that is associated with change. Then that's why he said they are not static. They are not carved in stone. Okay. He also included participatory as a characteristic of this synoptic planning or the rational, adaptive, comprehensive planning. Why participatory? Because it values engagement. So even during his time, already participatory planning had been relevant, had been very important because it values the engagement and contribution of many stakeholders in decision making. Collective choice of people gives the output plan its legitimacy. So the question might be, what are the characteristics of synoptic planning, or and who established that? So answer is Patrick Guedes. Another question is the father of regional planning. So merong choices. So answer Sir Patrick Guedes. And um, the the difficult aspect or the difficult question to be asked here is, what are the characteristics of synoptic planning by Patrick Guedes? So of course, today, while you are looking at this frame, yeah, please i-memorize nyo na. So, rational, comprehensive, synoptic, di ba? So, just that title alone, you would be able to know these are already characteristics, and it's still the title of the approach as well. So, rational, comprehensive, synoptic, nandyan na lahat, adaptive. So, yung participatory lang ang wala. But, so, it means that, if you remember RAC for short, RAC or synoptic, then dagdagan mo ng participatory. To make, to complete the whole picture of the characteristics of this type of this approach in planning, which is rational, adaptive, comprehensive, or synoptic planning. It is still a continuation, but it just it's just a diagram of, the how it should be done. Because it's large, it's long, it's comprehensive. Sige nga, I'm here in this particular frame or slide. Can you tell me now? Someone can unmute. Can you tell me now what are the characteristics of Patrick Guedes' synoptic planning? Can someone unmute and tell me? I would like to advance here para hindi niya makita. Sige nga. Layo ko pa. Okay, sige nga para hindi niya makita. Can someone unmute? And let me know, ano yung natandaan ninyo dun sa sinabi ko? Can you? Yeah, I'd like to do this one para masanay tayo that ours is not just, but you can recite. I do a lot of recitation if I'm facing my review is face-to-face before, and it was, parang effective ito eh. So, sige nga, if you don't want to recite, I'll call someone. Sige nga. I'd like to practice this eh. Abigail, would you like to tell me the terminologies that have been, what the characteristics of that synoptic planning? Sige lang. Okay.
Sige, try po ma'am.
Sige lang.
Yung kanina, yung
Oo.
slide natin, yung may participatory,
Okay,
di
great.
ba yun?
Great, yes.
Yung ulit-ulit na kaya stick sa mind ko.
Okay, ano pa? Di ba sabi ko,
Pwede ba mag-call?
di ba
Ah?
sinabi ko, remember yung title mismo ng approach? Di ba? Okay, sige. Di ba I said rock? Okay, can you tell me ano yung meaning ng rock?
Alin? Yun?
Yung, di ba, sabi ko rock or synoptic, di ba? Parang, I coined that rock, but it is an acronym. Yung rock, ano
Okay.
yun? Okay, sige. Anong meaning ng R doon? Anong characteristic yon, Abigail?
Oh my God.
Anyone? Sige,
Anyone
yung
na lang.
Yung
Can I
A.
answer?
Can I try?
Okay, continue please. Continue. Sino siya?
Galing ng classmate ko, naalala niya lahat.
Sige nga. Sino si Elvis ba yun o si Roderick? Roderick Game.
I recall, ma'am, your rock is rational.
Okay.
That is systematic use of logic. And then yung comprehensive po offers much of territory as possible.
Okay.
Then, S is synoptic for planners
Okay.
of synthesizing para
Ano yung A?
A is, I think, is adaptive. Then
Very good.
dynamic at the same time.
Okay, very good. So, hindi
And
kayo
the last is participatory.
participatory.
That's yung taxonomic plan.
Great. So, na-answeran din ni Abigail kanina yung participatory. Di ba sinabi ko, yun lang yung idadagdag mo dun sa rock at saka synoptic. And that completes the whole
Naalala.
Oh, di ba? So, ibabalik ko dun sa kwan ha. Ibabalik ko doon. So, see? Nabuhay kayo, no? Let's see. Oh, di ba? So, sino na yung nag-recite kanina? Si Abigail at saka
Yes, no?
si Roderick. Okay, si Roderick. So you see, rational, comprehensive, synoptic, adaptive, participatory. Okay? Let me continue and then I'll call people again. So last na slide na ito, but I will call people. I will call you guys so that maalala natin, ano? Kasi it's not good to see this and then kakalimutan ka agad, di ba? You cannot go back to this slide. Trust me, you cannot go back anymore. Kasi madami pa kayong aaralin, as in unending eh. Something, hindi mo siya, no, wala siyang katapusan, yung planning. So, okay, this one. Okay. Strategic planning, isn't it that it's opposed to the regional planning? Because strategic planning is you just have to choose the data information in less time, right? So this is a perspective from management theories and business educators. It focuses on strategies to attain the desired state. It uses also critical key information. Okay, key information rather than all information. All information is a characteristic of regional planning or the RAC and synoptic planning by Guedes. Now, these are the characteristics. These are the characteristics. Sige, i-ano ninyo ha, at talasan natin yung mga mata natin. So, the eyes should memorize it, and the brain will not draw it away, okay? What are the characteristics of strategic planning in this particular perspective? Kasi we need to contextualize. We are talking about not in the present government in Philippines, but we are talking about how these things were contextualized and were defined decades ago, centuries ago. So, okay, strategic planning, it's future focused, it's client driven. So, ganito pa rin hanggang ngayon, di ba? Outcome and results oriented, high involvement of who? The workforce, clients, suppliers, partners. It's also dynamic. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay? Familiarize. Tingnan ko nga how quick you are in thinking. Huwag kayong mag-screenshot. Future focus, client-driven, outcome and results-oriented, high involvement. Okay, so I'll shift it here. I'll call some people, or kung walang mag-volunteer, I'll call you. Bobby. Okay, sandali lang. Ako. Okay, Bobby. Bobby, ano yung characteristics of strategic planning? Bobby? Or any volunteer? O baka
Hello.
Yes. Go ahead.
Future focused, client oriented,
Okay.
namin kanina.
Oh.
Ang ganda na walang siguro, ma'am. Mahaba
Okay.
kasi.
Others, okay, I'll give opportunities for others to continue. Bobby, ano yung sinabi mo? Client, and then?
Future focused po.
Okay. Someone can continue or alter kung hindi kayo naniniwala. Oh, sige. Bruce. Okay, go ahead, Bruce.
Ay po ma'am, good evening.
Hello, Bruce.
Rinig lang po ba? Kasi naka-tablet lang po ako.
Oh yeah, we can hear you. Loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, I made it yung parang abbreviation. So, SCOHD. SCOHD, yung sa akin.
So, nandun yung mnemonics nandun yung mnemonics si Bruce, okay? Go ahead,
Yeah.
Bruce.
Yung future focus, yung F. C is parang client something. I forgot basta it's about client. Yung client. O is for outcome and results. Then H is high involvement. Then D dynamic. Yun yung kalimutan ko yung client. I forgot the client.
Okay.
Client oriented
Very
ba
good.
yata yun or something like that.
Okay, so let me go back to that particular slide. Kasi it's now or never ito no? Mahirap na yung balikan pa natin. Okay, ngayon, nakuha nyo ba?
Mali.
Mali daw.
Okay. O, di ba? Outcome and results oriented. Okay lang naman kahit magkabalbaliktad yan, but pwede mo naman na baguhin yung arrangement.
At least familiarized.
Oo, di ba? So at this time, tomorrow again, I'll be calling you. Kailangan mabilis talaga mag-isip, mabilis mag-memorize, and then, but memorization, I think you need to have a strategy. Like sinabi nga ni Bruce, I think he did like a mnemonics, like nag-acronym siya. And how about others? I'm sure there are also other strategies that you can share to your co-reviewees. We are now a large group here, so before, you know what? Yeah, I'm used to doing review for like face-to-face, 50, 70 people, 100, ganon. And then, first time I reviewed a group of people in Mindanao, so I produced the very first set of Mindanaoans, like again the Oro, Zamboanga, and then Agadian, yeah, all Zamboanga, and of course Misamis Oriental. And so hindi nila makakalimutan, and I normally do this, and it's effective, so nakaka-produce tayo ng top-notchers. So here, I'd like to call, okay, ganun ko ha, tingnan natin kung for the second time, si Annalyn kaya, si Annalyn, would you like to do it again? As my last, kasi it's already 10:11, naantok na kayo. Annalyn,
Hello,
please.
yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
Okay. So, can you do it?
What can I do, ma'am? Sorry.
Yun. Parang can you tell me the characteristics of strategic planning?
Ma'am, as I can remember, it's a future focus,
Okay.
and then client driven,
And
then outcome and results with environment, and then dynamic, and then there's a high involvement.
okay, great. So, mape-perfect na natin, Annalyn? So,